Trump's tariff trade war will collapse the world economy and your paycheck soon. Hey, gang, this is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and today's lesson is about my opinion why I feel like Trump's tariff war will collapse the world economy and your paycheck. So, the very first thing is let's start with your paycheck because that's the easiest thing to explain how it's going to come for your paycheck, the tariffs, okay? Um, Now, I want to make sure that this is not a politic review. I'm not Democratic, I'm not Republican or anything like that. I'm not dissing Trump. It just for me, it's just business. It looks. I'm just analyzing as a business situation, and the tariff, which is a tax, is is a tax on you. And this is what I'm going to explain right now. Why it's going to come hurt your paycheck, and then we'll go into the world because that's a little bit more complicated to explain. Okay, the first thing is there's two ways it's going to hurt your paycheck. One, whenever you go buy anything that's in the aluminum or metal or any of the other stuff, okay, or if you buy anything, for example, if you buy a car that's a Hyundai or your Toyota, then or anything like motorcycles, like tornado shelter windows, nails, what have you. Okay, Home Depot, a lot of stuff at Home Depot. Okay, anything like that. You're in the construction business, you're in the real estate business. You're in the supply business. You're in the manufacturing business. You're going to be affected. Okay, well, so as you, how are you going to get affected? Because the businesses are going to get affected. Whenever you go buy something, okay, you're going to have to pay more in cost of it because of this tariff. So, for example, if a car normally costs $10,000, now it may cost 13,000 or 15,000. Okay, just depends. All right. One great example is that if you look at um, the trade war, for example, in motorcycles, the tariff for Harley Davidson to sell a motorcycle in Europe was 6%. Now it's like over 30%. Okay, so that buyers in Europe, where they want to buy a Harley, now they got to pay 30+% more than what they normally pay. Okay, well, actually, they used to pay 6, so 24+%. Okay, not to get into details. So it's gonna cost the buyer you more money to buy stuff. It's simply put, guys. Okay, and who gets this money? Government gets it. Okay. Why do they need this money all of a sudden? Is it because that they're printing too much money and they see the economy collapsing? So it's a rule over your eye. Oh, I go left, but I circle around so you don't see what I'm doing. Okay. So that's what I think it is, or it's a possibility to be. Okay. So the very first thing that it's going to come after your paycheck, that it's going to take more money for you to buy stuff. If it's from cars to automotives to bicycles to stuff from Home Depot to build homes, etc. Okay. The other reason that it's gonna take money out of your paycheck is because people will lose their jobs all over America that are working directly in the car business and the home building business that requires in any manufacturing business that requires these things. Okay, so people will lose their money, so they'll have less money. So now think about what I just said. You're gonna have to spend more to buy, but you're making less. So look, you're gonna cost of goods is higher. Okay, while you're making less money or people around you are making less money. All right. And that is surely a sign for economy collapse, guys. Not let's forget about how much debt the government is in. Let's forget about the inflation because of the Federal Reserve. Let's forget about all that. But just these two ingredients by themselves is what is a great recipe for economy collapse because you know it costs more for you and I to buy stuff, and we, the people, will have less money because businesses are going to go close or they're going to go bankrupt. They're going to cut, or they're going to go to other countries like Harley Davidson just has done. Okay, guys. All right. So now that you get to see that, all right. And lesson say another thing is we could add on here is that 1 second, guys. Let's see. All right. Another thing we can add on here is that people all around the world will have less money because of the tariffs. Because when there's a trade war, okay, I'll punch you in the face. What's gonna happen? You're gonna punch me in the face. If you're a good Christian, or you have great morals, you may turn around and give you your other cheek. But if they punch you again in your other cheek, right, and you feel afraid for you and your family, your only choice is to hit back. And that's just a natural law, guys. Okay, only humans, when a dog bites my dog instantly attacks. He never turns to the other cheek. And if because we're humans, because we have morals, because we could think, some of us are able to turn to the other cheek, right? But after that, we're out of cheeks, man. After that, if we feel threatened, our family's gonna, we got no other thing but to attack. And that's what's gonna happen to China. What's gonna happen to Europe, to Germany. Everyone's gonna charge more, dude. Just like a great example of motorcycles selling Harley Davidson in Europe for 6% tax, now it's 30+%. Okay, think about what I just said. So, if you have a $10,000, let's just do it. Okay, just simple. And I don't know if you guys ever priced Harleys before, but I owned 7, 8 motorcycles at one time, and from Ducati to Harley to BMW. So I know how expensive things are. But just on a minimum, now $10,000 Harley is like a almost an entry level bike, guys. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just doing it with a 10,000, and if you had to pay 30% extra on top of that, you're paying $3,000. So now a bike that you could buy for 10,000, okay, now you got to buy it for 13K. That's $3,000 more. All right. So people all over the world are gonna lose jobs because countries gonna increase their taxes whenever you consume. So when there's a tariff, you are the buyer, which is you, are the one that pays the price. Okay, that's it, guys. Who wins there? Who gets this money? Governments. So maybe this is just like everyone's just tonguing and cheeking behind the back, all the governments, but for us, they're trying to suck more of our equity, more of our lives, so we can all spend time with our kids, with our family, and do things that we love. Okay. For example, I'm sure my car here price will go up a lot more because they're gonna get a lot more expensive. This was $119,000 car. And the price is going to go a lot higher because look at it, dude. This requires a lot of metal, dude, a lot of aluminum or whatever they make these cars from. Okay, the engines and so on. All right, all right. So now that we talked about the most easiest part, which is the paycheck, now let's talk about why Trump's tariff war will collapse the economy, the world economy, not just the U.S. economy, the world economy. Okay, number one thing is because everything today, the world is so close. So old school thinking was about walls, building walls to separate people, and tariffs. Okay, that was old school, and we know what happened to Russia. USSA. We read the history books. From, they've been having walls since Babylon. So building walls is nothing new, dude. And tariff, is old as God. That's why we got our freedom from Great Britain because of taxes and tariffs. The Boston Tea Party. Okay, so these are old ideas. These things will only equate to people punching you. I punched you, you punch me back, and that's old school, dude. So all over the world, we're going back into caveman days thinking versus the new way thinking, like blockchain, empowering people. Building wealth for the average person, creating a middle class versus just being like in India or Pakistan where you have extreme rich and extreme poverty. And there's nothing in the middle, dude. Okay, in America, what made America great is because you do have the middle class and everything between, guys, and they're taking that away, right? So let's go to point number two. Okay, so it's old school. Point number two is everything is so close together. Okay, because of the internet, the world is like a chain now. We're all interrelated. Before the internet, we were all interrelated, but we didn't have the awareness because of government, propaganda, music, etc. But now we realize that hey, a guy from India, a guy from Philippines, he has kids. He wants better for his wife, for his kids, for his children, just like we do. And they're not so different like the boogeyman says it is, but like Big Brother says or CNN says it is. Okay. And how do I know? Because if you look in your refrigerator, if you look in your closet, you can see that everything you wear it comes from different countries, from China, from Mexico, from Hungary, from Pakistan, from India. If you don't believe me, just check it out. Even your groceries, guys. I challenge you to go into your refrigerator. I go into my refrigerator, my cheese comes from France. My bread comes from here. I just ordered a tombak, which is a tombak, which is a Persian drums from Turkey. I mean, like everything. My bicycle's made from Hungary. My keychain's made from this. My car's part of it is made from Germany. I mean, everything you think about, guys, you're not even aware about it. Is coming from all different countries. Okay, majority of things that you own come from some other country. Right now, any material things from your iPhone to your iPad to your mattress to your bicycles to your car to your socks to your underwear. Don't believe me, just pull your clothes, go to your closet and check it out, dude. See where it's made from, okay? So the world, because of the internet and because of free trading, the new way of thinking versus tariffs and walls has created abundance from you and abundance from the guy in the Middle East and abundance and more abundance. And when we are able to live a better life, a more comfortable life where we don't have to have war so much and in our backyard, at least in America and other countries, we're bombing the shit out of these people and killing a bunch of innocent people. But in America, we don't have to have wars in our backyard, so we can work on cool technology like iPads and AirPods and etc. Guys, and revolutionary, medicine, etc. But if there was people bombing us, then we wouldn't be thinking about that stuff. We'd be thinking about making missiles and bombs and etc. Guys, all right. So the internet is what I'm trying to get to. Has brought us all together, all of us, dude, so much closer that we even realize, from Iran to Mexico to China to Philippines to US, we don't even know it, guys. And then on top of that, it's allowed companies to make money in other countries, to set up factories in other countries, to have more profits, have less regulation, like what is in America. And for example, I teach you in my VA book called the VA Exponential how to hire virtual assistants, which is people with college degrees to speak great English in different countries for you to work for your company, to generate you leads, to make cold calls, whatever you want them to do, be your office manager for only $120 a month. $150 a month. If you want to learn how to do that, get on MrNoFluff.com and click on the stores, on the products, and you see the VA Exponential, guys, where I teach you how to do that. Okay, but what I'm saying is, because of the internet, because of us being all interlinked, we have made tremendous advancements from having luxury stuff to cheaper stuff. We can buy things way cheaper than we were before. Okay, so by trade wars, we are cutting this. Okay, we're cutting the ability to be interlocked and get things for luxury, things we could never get made in America because the fabrics are not here, from fashion to all the way down to because it's cheaper, we can get it from China because they have better, cheaper labor, whatever the story is. Okay, the third problem is that in America, guys, the problem is that we don't produce shit. Manufacturers is down, dude. Is down. Everyone's in China, India, Pakistan, Mexico producing shit. The only thing that we are clever at producing is fake systems to get people in debt. Like, for example, 2006 fourth quarter, we had uh, mortgage-backed securities. Again, mortgage-backed securities where we package subprime bad notes worth good notes and middle notes and packaged up and sold it on stocks to all captive investors all over the world, guys. So in America, we are very good right now at producing debt, producing fake stock equities, producing equities out of thin air, and from ETFs all the way down to you know um, derivatives and all this fake stuff that has nothing to do with the real world resources. And we're good at selling people all over the world to buy our, petrodollar and our central banking that, it's really not us, but since we're the world power, and since we changed the constitution when no one was really looking, and allowed the central bankers to get into their system. So we're kind of like, it's hard to say, did we create them? Did they create us? But, it's shady, right? Because the reason America left Great Britain is because they were tired of paying taxes, and they didn't want to have a central banking, dude. They knew that, like, if you read some of the founding forefathers' words, they knew that having banks, central banks, would enslave all of us, would put our kids homeless, guys, and that they felt like the states should produce their own instead of having a third party outside print it and control us, in many sense. And if you guys don't know what fractional banking is, lending is, if you don't know what central banking is, you don't understand how the money is created, how bonds and all the treasuries and all that stuff works, then you got to do a lot of homework, guys. So I don't have the time to get into that. But what I'm saying is that we have created a fake system of being the leader in the world, not because we produce the best steel or because we produce the best cars or because we produce the best X. No, right? We produce the best system of fakeness like equity stocks and derivatives and ETFs and all this stuff that, uh, money-backed securities, mortgage-backed securities, and all this, arms and, balloons and all these creative ways they do it at Wall Street to enslave us in the whole world. And so that's what we're really good at, because at this time we're not producing the best cars. I reported to you guys months ago that Ford is going to stop making cars. We're not the best, manufacturers. We don't make steel here anymore. Everything's just imported. Like the only thing we're good at is producing credit or debt, creativity in a creative way, naming it different things. Okay, and so if we have go to trade wars and things have to come back, you know, and we have to buy from American made stuff, but we don't have that stuff. There's the manufacturers not there. Yeah, it's going to take a while to come, and then the prices will go extremely high. But the problem is that people don't have prices are going to go up, and they don't have the money because they lost jobs. And people say, well, they're going to get a job now. Well, man, I don't know, guys. I believe that, you know, the way the central bankers are from Europe, like if you look at right now London, if you look at UK, you look at Italy, man, all these people are in bubbles, all right? They're bubbles. They're like the real estate bubble, the stock bubble, all that stuff. So when we go into war and when the countries start having war, tariff fights, eventually it goes to real war, okay? Because it becomes tight for all these countries. So end of the day, by having tariff wars, when economies are struggling to service all the debt they have taken over, and when their people don't have any more money because they're paying more for stuff and because they're losing jobs, okay, that it only takes one bubble to burst, the real estate bubble, the bond bubble. It doesn't matter what, or one country to default, or one central bank to default, okay? Then everything else is a bubble. And so what's going to happen is that it doesn't matter that something may pop in America, something may pop in Europe, but once one pops, okay, because of tariff wars, things costing more for you and I and everyone in the world to buy more. Production slows down, people get angry, and then actual wars happen, right? And if actual wars don't happen, the economy will collapse, in my opinion, because we're on the verge of one thing popping for everything to, the bust. The mother of all collapses, because we have so many fake stuff, man. I mean, like if you look at equities, right? Like for example, equities is just going like this, boom, right? And only in America, dude, it's like going up, up, and sometimes it comes down and stuff, but it's just up, 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 up. What the hell is this equity? You know? You're just giving money to some company, and you know you have no control of it. Like so little, right? But people make so much money. It's not like an idea they created. It's not like they had to put their sweat into it. Maybe to give to make the money, but they didn't have to learn any new skills. They didn't have to go from like rich dad B, I mean I B. I'm sorry, guys. SBI, brain fart. They didn't have to go through this travel and learn all these skills and just invest their money from here to here. They make money. Sometimes it crashes. It's so much fake. Or like, companies that have gold stocks that you buy gold and you don't hold the gold. That's like so much BS, guys, right? Or, all these companies like Merrill Lynch that help you invest your money, and they rob you of your education. You just put in your 401k and you hope that it goes all right. You can go watch TV, you can go shopping, and then once retirement comes, all of a sudden you're gonna have this money. PFBS shit, dude. I mean, come on, dude. Come on, you got to be adults, dude. You got to be a responsible individual. If you're not responsible and you don't eat right, you don't go to the gym, you're gonna get obese, dude. You're gonna get fat. You're gonna die from obesity, from heart attack. I mean, that's the truth, dude. Now you may go to a doctor and they give you some fucking pills. I say, oh, take this or take this and take this because it's a business for that doctor. It's a business for the pharmacy. And they know as good as well that if these pills are going to mess up five other things in your body, and then you're going to have to take more pills to fix those other things that they messed up. And before you know it, you got diseases that you didn't even have in the beginning. Okay? So the point is, you got to be responsible, man. You got to be a responsible. Big brother can't bail you out. I mean, you can't expect Big Brother to do everything for you, dude, right? And believe that the banker's going to take care of you, and your mutual fund investor's going to take care of you, and the guy that's trying to make sales commission off whatever he sells you, he has your best interest. I mean, come on, guys. I never believed a realtor because they're making commission. I don't care to have a fiduciary duty, dude. If that was the case, then people wouldn't be paying 10,000, 20,000 above asking price because their realtor suggested it to them because the market is hot. What kind of fiduciary duty is that, dude? Okay, how can someone that's going to make money off of you really have your interest in heart? That doesn't make any sense. Right? Same thing with people that advise you on how to invest your money. I said I never believed in that. I took the responsibility in my own hand. I made money, it was me. If I lost money, it was me. But throughout the way, I learned a lot of stuff. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm just thinking for me, you know, that the tariff is going to break the economy down, and it's going to hurt a lot of people, and it's going to come for their paycheck. But for me, it's going to be a great opportunity because when the economy collapses, I'm going to be one of the very few people that are going to take tremendous risk and put it on the line. And when it all clears up, when the dust clears, I'm going to come up victorious, right? I'm going to come up victorious because I'm all in. And I'm gonna love it. I'm not reporting this doom and gloom. I'm just telling you how it is. MrNoFluff.com. Okay, you can just mark my word. I did a video on YouTube about tariffs months ago, and whatever I said there are already coming true. Like businesses are going bankrupt or losing or firing employees. Manufacturers are leaving America to other countries because they got to pay tariff wars, etc. So it's already coming true. Just go look it up. I'm just letting you know. But it's a great time. I'm not mad about it. I'm gonna love it. But I feel bad for all these people that put up all their money for pensions and 401s, and they work hard, the middle class, because these actions are making America like India or Pakistan or Iran, where you got the ultra rich and the ultra poor, and there's no one in the middle, guys. No one in the middle. You know, we have all these people on government cheese, from Section 8 to food stamps to all this stuff. But shit, man, I mean, they kind of deserve it too because we're paying all this money. Every paycheck you pay all the Social Security. It's not going to be there for you. You know what I mean? So the point of the story is to wrap it up, guys. That I believe that this tariff trade is going to be a great opportunity for people that have balls or willing to take risks. But unfortunately, it's going to hurt a lot of good people good working people, middle class, and some big companies. But I think the big companies like Harley Davidson's and other guys, they got the money, they're gonna move, dude. They don't have to stay here. Where the middle class, they don't have options. They got 40-year mortgages, and they have arm mortgages, and they have car debt, and they have credit card debt. They can't get up and move. All right, guys, if you find this video useful, please click the like button. Leave me your comment. I'd love to know what you think about it. And hustle and bustle, guys.